Well, now I'm ready.
Welcome, folks. Welcome. I guess we're gonna start a new show tonight. It's Conversating with Switchblade and Kitty. How you doing, Kitty? You doing pretty good tonight?
Always.
Always. Yeah, she's gonna be stepping in, and we're gonna talk about a couple topics tonight. We've got coronavirus, obviously. That's across the news. Everybody's talking about that because, the hell, nobody has anything better to talk about right now. We're going to talk about the cancel culture, some BLM stuff, because you know what? I know I'm not black, but I can't even get behind them. Hell, black people can't even get behind them, unfortunately, and that's something that's kind of sad for a movement that's supposedly supposed to be bettering and helping black people. We're going to talk about work ethic, pets being shot by police officers, an aluminum can shortage, and screwing up some beverages being put on the shelf that we haven't seen in quite a few months. It's beverages that me and her actually drink quite a bit. And I have a YouTube video from a guy that really lays out some shit, which will probably come in between. But so you're doing good tonight. I know it's 12:30 a.m. and we're here doing a show live. But how are you doing?
I'm actually doing pretty good.
Really? Are you excited about the topics tonight?
I am.
Okay. Well, we're going to start out with the topic of the KKK beer. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, have heard about it. Obviously, you've heard about it. You hear about most of my topics that we talk about. Oops, I got to do that real quick. But have you heard about the KKK beer?
Yes, I've heard about it.
Okay. Well, so hold on. I gotta redo some stuff. I fucked up with the live shit here. I didn't update the Twitch stream and everything. So I have to...
It's not often you mess up.
Not really. But it's... Oh, no.
But it does happen, folks.
It does. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. And guess what? I'm okay admitting that, but I'm damn close. What was that little... Am I not?
Nothing. No, I'm not saying nothing. No way. I'm not falling into that trap.
She's smart, folks. She really is.
Hence the reason we haven't had an argument.
Yeah, well, we've had some disagreements, folks. Don't get me wrong. We have disagreements, but like two adults, we know how to talk about it and not scream, get pissed off, and stomped out of a fucking room. And guess what? I'm not right all the time. I'm not. Am I?
No.
Okay, I'm not right. So, but that's the thing. We gotta, and that's what adults need to do. They need to learn, especially married adults. We're not married
Yet.
Well, we're not married, folks. And yet is the key word. But we're not married. But we know already in a relationship how to talk to the other person, even when we're upset or mad. We know how to bring things up to each other that, hey, I really don't like this or like what you said, and we talk about it. Yes, it sometimes it gets a little heated, Not often. Not really yet. But
the only thing that ever got heated was our discussion about a dog.
exactly. That needs to stay outside.
No, it does not. Dogs should be in the house.
No, they need to be outside.
In the house.
Outside.
No, they need to be in the house.
Again, we're done with this conversation because this is the way that conversation goes, folks. But we talk about the way we feel. We actually express to each other the way we feel. And that's something that I'm pretty sure has been lost over the last 30-some years in a relationship. That's why the relationships you have now are fucking, have a kid, break up. Now the woman has to take care of the kid. Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. But back to the original topic, KKK beer. So, well, yeah, I didn't finish that either. Hold on. See, I'm getting distracted, folks. We're having conversation. We're conversing. If you want to call in and be part of the show, 419-649-7783. Give us a call. I'll throw you on the air. We can have more of just two people conversation here. How do we want to... I think it's under talk, right? Talk shows and podcasts. There it is. Okay. Our information is updated now on Twitch. Anyway, so KKK beer. And if you haven't heard of this, it is where was that at? Two guys talking. Yeah. Again, folks, I'm producer, editor, co-host. I do it all here. This is just what I do. That way, eventually, one day, I can pass this off to somebody else, and I can look at them and go, "Here, this is what you need to do." So let me get the article here for KKK beer. KKK beer. So customers call out beer bottle with KKK design. Now this is from July of this year, actually July 16th, so not quite a month ago. A Ku Klux Klan designed beer is being removed from a Connecticut bar after receiving complaints from customers on social media, according to CT Post. In a Facebook post, a woman said the $40 bottle. Who the fuck?
$40? Who pays $40 for a bottle of beer?
I guess this black guy and his white friend, because they both got it. Like as I go here, they both got this bottle, and they say it's racist, and it is. Trust me, when I show you the picture here, folks, it is.
But the name of the beer is Yellow Belly.
Yes.
So they're basically calling the KKK cowards, which they are.
But again, okay, so all sets aside, it wasn't that the black guy got the beer like the KKK and the white guy didn't. They both got the same exact beer, and they both were served the same exact bottle of beer. Okay? Now, it's not the bottle of beer. It's the way they decide that they need to wrap this beer.
I don't understand the packaging myself.
I don't either. So in a Facebook post, a woman said that the $40 bottle was promoted to her black husband at a World of Beer, a bar in Connecticut, which they also have World of Beers down in Florida and stuff, I think, also. Erica Davis Petre said her husband was given the bottle without being warned about its appearance. Presenting this package to any customer, let alone a black customer, is insensitive at best or just downright racist. Now here's the picture, folks. For some reason they put a white wrapping around it, twisted at the top with two holes, and all it says is Yellow Belly. I just don't get it. Yellow Belly beer, a bold and outspoken imperial stout, according to its creators, is packaged to resemble a KKK hood. The design is meant to depict cowardice. That's why, cowardice. So pretty much the beer they thought what they wanted to do with this beer is talk to people about what the KK stands for. Yellow Belly, cowardice. It was kind of like supposedly something that people came up with, thinking that they were anti anything. Yeah, so the design is meant to depict cowardice in the company's stance against extremism and racism, according to the beer's original story. It was made in collaboration with UK-based brewery Brookston and Swedish brewery based in Stockholm called, I'm not even going to pronounce that. The link will be in the description, folks. You can go look at it yourself. According to Brookston Brewery website, Yellow Belly was created around 2014 during a time of political turmoil throughout Europe. The beer's creator in Sweden said that they were struck by the overwhelming support for fascism and how starkly it differed from what people had disclosed when asked face to face if they supported far right politic views. So with all this in mind, the website said, we then dressed the beer in the most hateful, cowardly, anonymous costume we knew of. So that's why they decided to do it, folks. This beer, whilst attempting to make a community on the current politic winds blowing through Europe, the statement continued, is above all meant to be enjoyed as a celebration of all things new, open-minded, and progressive. The label Yellow Belly, which has been discontinued due to trademark dispute, reads, to us, one of the most cowardly deeds is to act anonymously, hiding behind a group, a significant trait of institutionalized racism. But according to the complaints, the beer's ancient message, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so pretty much they served a black guy a beer with a KKK hood on.
But it was an imported beer. It wasn't an American beer.
It was. And the name brand and everything, if you notice, they've discontinued, so they're not making it anymore. They have a trademark. Yellow Belly has a trademark dispute on it, so it's not even being made or produced anymore. But being the company that sold it, World of Beer, it imports beers from around the world so that you can try a bunch of different beers from around. That's their whole slogan at World of Beer.
Obviously.
Yeah, so.
Well, I was wondering because, I mean, there's no way an American company would have done something like that.
No, not at all. And I understand where the company's thinking came from. They wanted cowardice, Ku Klux Klan, cowards, yellow bellies.
But you think they could have picked a completely different.
They could have gone a different way.
Yes, they could have went a completely different way.
They could have, but they didn't. So, but yes, that's KKK beer there, folks. If you, like I said, you want it, links down in the description on what we got and everything else. So, would you drink a KKK beer?
I don't like beer.
You don't even like alcohol that much.
No, not really.
Which is strange, folks, because I do. But like she says, I'm not a stupid drunk, a belligerent drunk, or an obnoxious drunk, so...
Only a couple times.
The one I was permitted to, and everybody, no matter who they are, is permitted to on that particular day. True?
I guess.
It was my birthday, folks. I got drunk on my birthday as we were stuck on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean because we couldn't get to port because of some health issues, which leads us into our next topic, coronavirus. We were on a cruise. We were, 4 days in? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was that Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were like 4 days into this cruise, and we got turned away from port because one of the crew members got sick. Now, because of the coronavirus, shit hit the fan. The port couldn't test to find out if the guy had it, which is understandable. We were on a small little island.
Right.
I understand why they said that. And they weren't going to let us port because they weren't going to let the coronavirus on the island. So we got turned away from that port, and we had to go on to our next destination, which was Barbados. Well, needless to say, that day, obviously, we didn't get to get off the boat.
Nope. We circled the port. Just did circles in the port.
But it took us till 2 or 3 in the afternoon before we even got to Barbados.
True story. But that was nice, though. I mean, I did enjoy the day at sea. It was circling the port that irritated me.
I really did like my day at sea, too, because I started drinking at 8:30 that morning. And I just kept drinking all day, folks. I mean, shit. I was enjoying company. I found a good seat at one of the bars early on. And because there were so many people, I wasn't getting up from that seat because I was right there at the bar. I was getting service right from the bar and didn't have to wait. And yeah, my girlfriend's social anxiety kicked in and she couldn't really be with me, which is fine. I had a good time. She enjoyed her day. Yeah, I mean, you read, didn't you?
I spent most of my time to myself in areas of the ship where there weren't so many people.
Yeah, and you came and visited me every now and then.
Yep, I did.
You knew where I was. I wasn't going nowhere.
No.
So
I knew you weren't going anywhere. And I did stop and see you a few times. I spent some time with you that day.
As much as you could. It was a crowded area, folks. I was in a indoor smoking section at a bar. That was limited seating in the first place.
I mean, I would have been fine if people weren't bumping into me, but people were bumping into me and they were getting behind me, and I have some major issues with that. I know,
which is fine. That's why I didn't blame her for leaving me. But I sat there. I made some new friends. I even pissed off some people because I told them to go fuck themselves if they were so pissed, because this was after we got notification of what was going on and everything. People were all, well, go back to your room. If you're not going to have fun, enjoy. The casino's open, the bars are open. We can sit here and have a party. It doesn't matter if the coronavirus is here or not. Enjoy life. And I told them to a lot of fucking people, and a couple of them turned around and like, you know what? You're right. Just let's enjoy this. Let's have a good time. I mean, it's the people that were pissy and everything else. If you're that pissy, go quarantine yourself in your room. Get away from everybody else. Just go to your own cabin and just sit there and sulk in your own pity for right now. Because guess what? It's my birthday and I was going to have some fun. I didn't want that type of people and that mentality around me at that time. Yes, I was upset. I didn't get off the boat on my birthday and go do what I wanted to do on my birthday and everything else. But guess what? I turned it into a positive.
And that was part of my problem too, was the people complaining. I would have been fine if everybody would have been more upbeat and stuff like that. But they didn't have anything planned for us to do.
Well,
so
obviously, there wasn't really anything.
Then I don't think they were very good at impromptu shit.
Well, again, they weren't planning on us doing what? I know, exactly. That was something.
But I can guarantee you, that if something comes up like that again, they will have a backup plan.
But then you have the crew and the captain and everybody else kind of I guarantee you that captain of that boat was flipped because he has to be the leader. He has to take control, and he did. I don't think he did a bad job. Heck, when were you there when he came through the one time?
I did get to talk to him. I did get to talk to him in the dining room one night.
Okay, see, I didn't get to do that. I got to talk to him on that day.
Oh, did you?
The one meeting room was right there. A door right there that you didn't really see where that bar was at.
Oh, okay.
There was a door there for them to go, and they went in there for half an hour, and him and 6 or 7 other crew people, which is probably the other leaders that he controls them, they control next, they could know how that works.
Right.
And so that was kind of probably what happened. So because it was right after they came out that the announcement of what was going on came across the
gotcha.
Yeah, they were probably trying to figure out what they needed to do and how they needed to do it type deal. So but speaking of the coronavirus, our lovely governor here.
Oh my Lord.
Good old Dishwine. I mean, DeWine. I like Dishwine. Sounds a lot better. Tests negative for coronavirus within the same 24 hours. Test positive for coronavirus within the same 24 hours. Test negative for coronavirus, and then blames the quick test that he took, not the other test. It just shows.
How did he get the other test back so quick, though? That's what I wanted.
And that's the issue that a lot of us are having. So I go get tested for coronavirus tomorrow. It's going to take 2 to 7 days before I get my results back. 2 to 7. DeWine had his back within 12. Okay, so if you can do that for one, we can do that for thousands of people. It's not that hard. You run the testing centers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's real easy. If you want to say, oh, we can't afford that bullshit, we can afford it, do it. That is something that we should be doing. That is one area that should be 24/7 right now, but it's not. It's Monday through Friday and maybe 8 hours a day. So whatever test they can get through in 8 hours, okay, we're done, and let's move on.
Speaking of the coronavirus test, have you seen the drastic difference in the prices of the test? And this is even people going
free.
to the same hospital.
Should be free.
I agree it should be free. But this one gentleman paid in cash and paid like $800. This woman that was with him went to the same hospital, got the same test done, but she used her insurance, and her insurance was billed like $2,800 or some shit like that.
Well, and that's actually, if you've ever noticed, I've done that a couple times. Like, I'll go up there and see what's the price with my insurance, and then I'll look at them and go, what's the price if I just pay out of my pocket? It's different. I mean, even dental and everything else, it's all different. They have different prices for that because they know with insurance they'll get a certain amount. Without insurance, they might not ever see the money. So that's why they pretty much scam the insurance company out of paying them, because the insurance company will just pay them and not, you know what I mean?
Right.
But speaking of that, where was I going? I don't remember where I was going with that one. But the test, I mean, should we be in test? Yeah, to find out the widespread of this, we need a test. Unfortunately, we need tests that are accurate, and we don't have that. We do not have accurate tests. We do not have accurate a lot of things while we're doing this, but yet we're making policies off of these test results.
Right.
So, plus... this is where I was going.
But we're making they're making policies that make no sense. And
hospitals get money for every positive test they come back with. They get money for every positive admittance to the hospital for treatment, or what they call treatment. You put on a ventilator and sit there and hope you don't die. I mean, that's not treatment. There's treatment out there, but we're not allowed to talk about it because that treatment's no good. It could hurt somebody. Well,
I think that was overturned.
It was, kinda. There's still not doctors that there are doctors here that are still not going, oh yeah, we're going to use it. I'm like, give it. If I come in with the coronavirus and I ask you to give me, and I'm talking about hydrochloroquine, folks, if I tell you to give me that treatment, I've been told by people, and even over Facebook, that are supposed nurses, that they can refuse you that treatment. Fuck you. You're not a doctor then if you're refusing a patient's request for treatment.
Right.
And their thing is, it causes heart problems. Well, if you go look back at hydrochloroquine, folks, it's been used for quite a while. It's used in arthritis. It's used in lupus treatment. It's used in the treatment for malaria. The side effects to that is nothing to do with your heart. It has side effects for vision. There's side effects on vision on it, and they know this, and that's a side effect. You could have blurred vision. You could lose your vision. There is some stuff like that. Nothing to do with the heart, though.
Right.
But now all of a sudden it has something to do with the heart. It's because
the possibility of losing my vision would terrify me.
It's because it actually works, folks. It's a small percentage. It's not.
Okay, I got you.
It's just one of the side effects that could happen that they put on the packaging and everything.
Oh, okay.
But it works, folks. You want to know why? There's countries out there that have used it, approved it, and classified it as a treatment. Their mortality rate is half of what the United States is. Their mortality rate is lower than any country that bans it or doesn't allow it. And those countries are pretty much almost back open again. So
should we talk about the one that never closed?
Yeah, well, their mortality rate shows why we don't really want to go that route, but it is a possibility still. Their mortality rate was 35%.
Oh, really? I
yeah.
didn't know it was that high.
No, it was up there. But guess what? They have no new deaths. They have no new cases. They have, their country is almost completely herd immune now.
Right.
But their mortality rate was a little higher than it should have been. And again, it was because they went a different route. But they're over it. They're done. They're out of the ballpark. They can go back to life very short time. So some more people died.
That's not, in my opinion, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, and in most people's mind, one person dead is a bad thing, which, I don't know. We all are going to die, folks. Every one of us will eventually die. We can lock ourselves in our houses and never come back out. And there's one thing I can guarantee you. You will end up dying.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
It's a part of life.
It plain and simple. And I've always said, you can't have death. You can't have life without death. And if you think you can stop death, you'll never have life.
Exactly.
It's just that simple. That's a part of life. And yes, that's the hardest question to answer is, well, who gets to die? Who doesn't get to die? Well, unfortunately, it's a roll of the dice, and we just got to go with it. People are going to die. You're going to die at a young age. You're going to die at an old age. And people are going to die all the way in between, including never being born. And I know... I just had to throw that out there. We're not going to talk about that right now, Kitty.
Please.
But that's life. Some die, some live. We really don't have a control over that. We can affect it, but we can't stop it. We can't do any of that. And if you think we can do something to limit who dies from what, well, that just means somebody else is going to die from something else.
Right.
The lockdowns. Abuse, spousal abuse, child abuse, child suicides,
Adult
personal suicides,
yeah,
all have gone up over the last
drastically
5 or 6 months. So yes, we might have saved a couple meemaws and peepaws in their 70s and 80s from not dying because of what we've done with the coronavirus, but we've killed other people because at the age of 15 and 16, their lives were demolished over the last 5 months, and now they decided to take their own life because they can't handle it anymore.
Right.
Did we really save...
Not to mention, actually, drug use and all that has went up drastically. Also, overdose rate has went up quite a bit.
Again, so have we really saved anybody?
Not really. I mean,
we just transferred the death to another part of society. That's all we did.
True. Very true.
Okay. So the last thing on the coronavirus is something that is great. You don't have a son in sports. Obviously, I don't have a son. And you were never heavily into sports, but
no, not really.
College football is canceled, folks, because of the coronavirus. Canceled. Max come out and said no games this year. Big Ten has come out and said no games this year. Whatever the Ivy League school league is, come out and said nope. No games this year. Well, I have a feeling high school sports are going to do the same thing here shortly. Usually high school sports are about, 2 or 3 weeks behind college sports?
Approximately.
I've had people, they're not going to do that. We're out practicing. Yeah, you're out practicing. Doesn't mean your games are going to start. College teams were out practicing, but guess what? Their games aren't going to start.
Right.
But that's the thing. We'll see this all high school football at least, but it'll come down to basketball, wrestling, all of it will be canceled here within the next couple weeks. So you can document that. I said it here first. So, okay, so we've got through 2 topics so far tonight. We're at a half an hour. God, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
We might do a little hour-long pilot show tonight.
Nice.
So, actually, you know what? I'm going to take a small break from us, folks. And I'm going to bring up, and we'll come back with worth ethic, some cancel culture, and aluminum cans and pets. Actually, let's do one more. Let's get the aluminum cans out of the picture. So, we have a beverage of choice here in this household, and it's Cherry Coke. You can't find Cherry Coke in aluminum cans, folks. Try it. Think you can? Go out to your store. Try to find Cherry Coke in aluminum cans. You can't find it. It's not being produced. And we decided to do a little research on this, and the excuse that's being given from Coca-Cola on why there's no cherry cans in Coke is because of an aluminum shortage. Now, mind you, folks, I have a pile of aluminum cans out back. Pile. The only reason I'm not turning my aluminum cans in is aluminum is fucking rock bottom. 19 cents a pound. Why the fuck would I even waste my time taking it to the recycling center right now for 19 cents a pound? I don't. I was getting about double that, a little over double that per pound. I'll take it for that, 40 cents a pound. Yeah, that's good. One bag of cans weighs roughly 3 or 4 pounds. I get about $2 per bag.
Approximately.
20 bags, that's $40.
Right.
So, but that's the excuse they're giving, is the aluminum shortage. Well, if there's an aluminum shortage, you'd think the price of aluminum would be up.
Right.
Would be high. Holy crap, we don't have aluminum. We need to get aluminum cans, so the price of aluminum's up. Well, at that point, I'd take my aluminum cans in and get my money. But supposedly, because there's an aluminum shortage, Cherry Coke in a can isn't being produced. So I highly doubt that is actually the reason for why there's Cherry Coke not in a can right now.
Because you could find Cherry Pepsi.
Well, yeah, but that's Pepsi Corp. That's not Coke Corp.
I know.
And Coca-Cola, those are two different companies.
I know they're two different companies. But they both use aluminum cans.
And they're still, I'm still getting aluminum cans. We still got other aluminum cans. I can still find many, many, many beverages that still have aluminum cans.
Right.
But why Cherry Coke? Why is Cherry Coke not being produced in aluminum cans right now?
I would like to know that as well.
Well, maybe we'll get to the bottom of this on our next show. We'll have some more information on Cherry Coke not being aluminum cans. But for this next part, it's going to be about 6-7 minutes here, folks. We're going to take a small break, let you listen to Awareness with JP. Great guy. Guy's hilarious, knows what he's talking about, puts out some good videos. Well, one he put out 2 days ago, links in the description. Go like his page, subscribe to his page. Hell, like my page, subscribe to my page. But I'm going to promote his shit because what he says here is perfect. And this is the way I want to see America run, and this is why, with what he says, is why I do what I do. I push what I want to see. I vote for who I want to vote for and best represents me. I've done that for years. But I guess for now, this is something that they don't really want you to do. It's left or right. And it's titled... what was it titled? Hold on, let me find it. I don't remember what it was titled. Damn. I forgot what it was titled. Oh, The Insanity of Picking a Side. So I hope you guys enjoy this here real quick, and we will be back momentarily, folks.
I reached out and touched the sky.
What makes a business?
They're all that's wrong in the world. They want to keep the borders closed and not let anyone in. Vote for us. No, they're all that's wrong in this world. They want to let everyone into this country, which was where I am living. Vote for us. They're guys and narcissists. They're guys can't put together a full sentence. Pick a side.
The three most deceiving words in the U.S. right now are
Pick a side.
if we want the world to be a better place, why do we buy into the old archaic idea that picking from two terrible choices will make anything better? You can't make a good dinner out of rotten ingredients.
We should have universal basic income. If you want to earn more, work more. Pick a side.
Ancient wisdom has it that peace, truth, and balance are never found in the extremes. It's always found in the space in between. Yet modern insanity has it that peace will be found in one of the extremes. And even though we haven't found it yet, we keep looking and expecting a different result. Picking a side always prevents you from finding the center.
Abortions for no one. Abortions for everyone. Pick a side.
The
Pick a side.
mentality perpetuates division, the source of all disease. They want you to think in terms of us or them. They don't want you to think in terms of everyone.
Just get behind Biden. It'll be good for the party. Just support Trump. It's good for the party. Pick a side.
Each side wants you to pick a side because picking a side perpetuates the system that creates the sides at the expense of the people who are picking the sides.
There are guys, a demented sex offender who's just trying to save face by saying he's gonna have a female running mate. Look at their narcissist. His ego's out of
purposes of picking a side, there's great admirable leaders that we would be proud to have our children aspire to be like. But truly, we turn two blind eyes to how each side is operating with the same cancerous behavior that thinks leadership is born out of criticism, belittling, division, taking bribes, and manipulating public opinion through strategies and deception.
Extended government shutdown is ridiculous. The left is just trying to use it to ruin the economy and influence the election. We know they just want to open up because they want to prevent mail-in voting because they know they'll lose the election. Pick a side!
The old pick a side two-dimensional way of thinking is convenient because it keeps you from having to do your own thinking. Yet each side would gladly have you think that their way of thinking that you've adopted is your own thinking. However, if you actually think for yourself, you can't be controlled or limited, and you'll always think more than two-dimensionally because you're intelligent.
Free education! Pay for your damn education! Pick a side! Pick a side!
No, I pick humanity, and I don't see any of it on either side.
Wait!
What if we all shattered the pick a side way of thinking and tapped into the miracle of our own self to choose choices beyond what the two cancerous sides would like to limit us to?
Wait, that's not how it works!
What if you were told, choose between having a murderer or a rapist babysit your children? Pick a side. Would you be obedient to the hallucination that you only have two terrible choices? Or would you allow yourself to choose a much better option?
You guy's a monster, but our guy would make a much better leader. No, your guy's an idiot. Our guy knows how to lead. He gets stuff done.
True leaders don't lead by criticizing others, and they don't put their own glory first. And they don't need to rely on manipulating how the public sees them to get elected. True leaders are transparent, honest, and authentic.
Then who are you gonna vote for? Pick a side.
Well, I have no idea, but not either of these sides.
But if you don't vote for our guy, that's basically a vote for their guy.
Nice try, but that intimidation-based manipulation tactic doesn't work anymore. I wouldn't vote for the rapist to babysit my children just to keep the murderer out of my house. That would be insane. I don't have all the answers. I probably don't have any. But here's something to think about. We need leaders, and that starts with you. Your fellow humans need you now more than ever. So what if you start by voting for you to embody the qualities of the leader that you wish to see? Compassion, kindness, understanding, bravery, and love for humanity. What if you broke free from the pick-a-side mentality, thought three-dimensionally, and made choices that feel right in your heart? If you and I do this, I think there's great hope for a peaceful, happy world that we can all thrive in and be proud of.
Pick a side!
Not anymore. We're on the same side. It's called humanity.
Oh, that's right, folks. Pick a side. Unfortunately, I've never done that. That is something I've never done. You?
Not really.
Not really. I don't. I've never voted Republican, Democrat. Now, I switch my standings. I'm a Democrat or Republican depending on how I want to influence the primaries. Sometimes.
Right.
That might be is that a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, if I want to not see a Democrat win a primary, I'll vote Democrat during the primaries just to vote against somebody, even though I'm not going to vote for the person that they're going to pick because down the road, you know what I mean?
Right.
It is possible. I switch my voting all the time. Anytime I vote for president, though, it's independent. I don't pick a side. I haven't voted for a Republican or a Democrat. Last one I voted for was Obama's first term. I bought into the open change, folks. My bad. Obviously, a second term, I didn't vote for him. I voted for, I believe, Gary Johnson that time. And then I voted for Gary Johnson again the last time because I voted for somebody that represented me. Yeah, he was a libertarian. He wasn't a Republican. He wasn't a Democrat. But he represented me. And represented what I wanted to see as a president.
Right.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's a lot to get those type of people in there because of the way our system is set up. They give you A or B. It doesn't matter if you pick the rapist or the murderer.
Right.
You just got to pick one of those two. I don't want to pick any of them. And JP made a good point in there. He used that analogy. Who would you want to watch your kids? The rapist or the murderer? You got to pick one of the two. Well, I don't want the rapist or I don't want the murderer, so I might as well pick the rapist. You don't want your kid to die.
Sense.
You don't want your kid to die, so you know what I mean?
Right.
So exactly, it makes no sense. But that's the system we have, folks, and that's the system most people push for. Oh, you got to pick one or two. I don't know. No, I don't. I mean, we have that freedom here in this country, and if more people thought that way, we wouldn't have a Republican or a Democrat. We'd have a third party that actually is for the people, not for the party. So, well, now that we're back here after that small break, we're going to talk about pets being shot, and I'm pretty sure Kitty over there has some good information on this. I didn't do any research on this one, so I don't know much about this. I'm going to let her talk a little bit. So what do you got over there, Kitty?
Well, this article is from January 7th of this year. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any recent articles.
January of this year is recent enough for any information we're sharing on this channel.
True story. It's the title of the article is "Don't Shoot the Dogs: the growing epidemic of cops shooting family dogs." And
the link will be in the description below, folks. So if you want to research and question what we have said on here, we're giving you the sources. We're not here to bullshit, even though it's BS media. We don't bullshit. Go ahead, baby.
In too much of policing today, officer safety has become highest priority. It trumps the right and safety of suspects. It trumps the right and safety of bystanders. So it's so important, in fact, that an officer's subjective fear of minor wounds from a dog bite is enough to justify using potentially lethal force. In this case, at the expense of a 4-year-old girl.
Oh.
And this isn't the first time. In January, an Iowa cop shot and killed a woman by mistake while trying to kill her dog. Other cops have shot other kids, other bystanders, their partners, their supervisors, and even themselves, while firing their guns at a dog. That mindset is then, of course, all the more problematic when it comes to using force against people.
Yeah. So far, I agree with this. I mean, this is it's just ridiculous, folks. There should be no reason why cops are even shooting dogs. I mean, I've been around dogs. I've had dogs attack me. I can hurt it. Even a Rottweiler and stuff, they aren't gonna detain me. I mean, they might get a bite in on me, but them dogs will probably be dead by the time they're done. I won't shoot them. I'll snap their necks. I know how to detain a dog, no matter how 150 pounds it is. It's pretty easy to stop a dog.
Hence the reason I always say have 3.
Okay, that's fine.
Because you might get the first 2, but that third one's going to get you.
Nah, I doubt it. I doubt it, because by the time the second one's coming at me, I've got a knife or something like that out. At that point, yeah, use a gun if you got 3 or 4 on you. That's like getting jumped by 3 or 4 guys. At that point, you pull out some weapons to help defend yourself.
Anyway. But I mean, a dog's job is to protect their family. Isn't that what a dog is for?
Yes.
Isn't that a dog's job nowadays, yes, besides being a companion and all that, is to protect their family?
And see, this is why, like, in Germany, they actually train their dogs, even little Shih Tzus. I went to a training facility in the area that I go to visit in Germany and watch a Doberman, a pit bull, a 14-year-old Shih Tzu go through training to protect their master. The commands the master gives to properly... Now, yeah, here in the United States, well, the training is lost because a lot of these people that have these type of dogs aren't in control of their dog.
Most people don't even know how to walk their dog properly.
No, exactly. Over there...
And that is a crying shame. I'm
over
sorry,
there, they take them to a facility. Now, the trainer has his pads on because they want the dog to learn to bite and everything else. But the owner also has to learn how to control said dog. And the trainer will go up and the owner will give commands for the dog not to attack, not to attack, not to attack. You're okay. He'll go up like a friendly person, shake the person's hand, do all this as the dog still sits there.
Right.
But then he'll go up as kind of a friendly person, but when that owner gives that command, boom, that dog's on him. That
Right.
dog's attacking and getting them and everything
Right.
else. Well, that's something we don't have here in the United States. That's something that's been lost in the training of security dogs.
Not necessarily completely lost in the United States.
but
there are
it's-
quite a few people that do have guard dogs and personal protection dogs.
But it's still not a normal thing. And I want to try to bring it here. I know you want to try to bring this here, and I'm all for that here because of what I've seen over in Germany of how it can really help society. It can be something that's good for society, but again, they have to be trained right. They can't just be in a dog that attacks anybody that comes through the door or anybody
Right.
like
No,
that.
no.
Now, if
No,
a cop comes to
a highly trained personal protection dog will not attack unless given commands.
and a lot of these dogs are not attack dogs; they're just regular dogs.
Just pets.
And guess what? Dogs bark.
Yes.
But so if a Rottweiler or right now the Pit Bull or at one time the Doberman, I mean, all these dogs had stereotypes against them over the
Right.
last 20 to 30 years of being aggressive, horrible fucking dogs, and none of them are. It's the owners that make them horrible, crappy dogs. But if a dog's just sitting in a room barking, it's not a threat to a police officer.
No.
But yet they still see that because the dog's barking, and it's a we'll say pit bull, but actually let's use Rottweiler, my favorite fucking dog, a Rottweiler. If a Rottweiler's sitting there barking from 5 feet away, 10 feet away, and the cop feels threatened, he'll put a bullet into that dog for no reason. Not
Right.
because the dog was an aggressor, not because the dog jumped at him or lunged at him or anything, just because the dog's being a dog and barking at an intruder. Doing what he's supposed to be doing. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, it's just sad that even cops, I mean, Black Lives Matter, we didn't really talk about the Black Lives Matter, did we? Yeah, good. We don't need to. I mean, that was going to be part of cancel culture, but we're going to bring this up here. Black Lives Matter. Well, cops kill a lot of things and people. It's not just Black Lives, and it's not. And if you are a Black Lives Matter person and you only care about the Black lives that are killed by cops, you don't care about Black lives. I'll say it. I know I'm not a Black life, but that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, definitely.
So, if you only care about part Black lives and not the Black lives in the slums that are poverty and stricken, to get them up, lift them out, you don't care about Black lives. You only care about your publicity and what type of money you can make off the backside of actual Black lives. So, was there anything else with that story, baby?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, there is. The absurd cruelties of the American police state keeps reaching new heights. Consider that if you kill a police dog, you could face a longer prison sentence than if you'd murdered someone or abused a child. If a cop kills your dog, however...
Hold on. We do have that right now, too, with the pedophilia and everything else going on in this country.
Let's save that for another show, because I could go on that one for a long time.
We'll definitely save that topic for another show. But that goes on that line. Child rapists and pedophiles get less time than if I shot a police dog. That's bullshit.
I agree.
Go ahead.
If a cop kills your dog, however, there will be little to no consequence for that officer. Not even a slap on the wrist.
That's bullshit.
I agree. In this, as in so many instances of official misconduct by government officials, the court have ruled that cops have qualified immunity and legal doctrine that incentivizes government officials.
I'm not even reading the article, folks.
In lawless behavior without fear of repercussions. This is the heartless, heartbreaking, hypocritical injustice that passes for law and order in America today.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much the law and order that's in anything. Cop or political figure can get away with something, but the regular civilian can't.
It is estimated that a dog is shot by a police officer every 98 minutes. The Department of Justice estimates that at least 25 dogs are killed by police officers every day. The Puppy Side Database Project admits the numbers of dogs being killed by police to be closer to 500 dogs a day, which translates to 182,000 dogs a year.
God damn. That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah. That's almost as high as the shelter kills.
Yeah, well,
shelter kills are actually higher than that. It's closer to a couple million a year.
We'll talk about that, and I'll see if I can get my if my one friend from high school wants to come on. I know she does a lot with the public. She's on a radio show locally every Wednesday to try to adopt these animals, and I'd love to help her out getting her stuff farther along than what they have now.
Yes, please adopt, don't shop.
Yes, I'm all for it. Now, the kittens I have were adopted. They happen to be born in a barn out back of my parents' house, but their mother came up missing, and we weren't going to let them freeze during the wintertime at 3 to 4 months old. So I adopted. I didn't adopt through. I just didn't throw 2 kittens out on the streets or allowed them to try to survive out in the middle of the country at 4 months old with winter hitting.
Hence the reason I like the DNR programs, or CNR programs. Capture, neuter, release.
Yeah, not do not resuscitate programs.
Capture, neuter, release programs for feral cats, because you're not adding bodies to the pile.
Nope, and let them be out there. They're good micers. They're good predators to keep the rodent population down, the snake population down, other different populations in our ecosystem down. Cats are very good at taking care of some of that, just like spiders and other insects are good. Like, I've always had a problem with spraying, and obviously with my garden and everything, putting chemicals on the garden. I'm a big component of not doing that. I don't need to have chemicals. I don't need to have fertilizers. The only fertilizer I use is natural compost that I make in my backyard and then put on. I don't add any of this extra chemical because I like going out and picking some of my fruits and vegetables, wiping off the dirt and the bugs, and eating them. I don't need to wash them off. Just wipe off the dirt, so a little bit of dirt ain't gonna hurt you. A little bit of bugs here or there ain't gonna hurt you. Just eat it right there. The food tastes so good. So I am a big component of not putting chemicals or using chemicals like that. Heck, when we clean here, I like vinegar over any other cleaning chemical in my house, because vinegar is something I can literally take the bottle, drink straight out of the bottle, and it won't kill me or hurt me. Now, I might get upset, stomach, it might not taste good. Don't get me wrong. You're a little zoned over there, baby. And listen.
I'm sorry, I was reading.
You're just listening to me.
I am sorry.
But white vinegar is a very good chemical. You can use it in your laundry. You can use it on your kitchen counters. You can use it a lot of places. It adds a decent smell to your house. It doesn't smell bad.
No.
And it's something that's non-toxic. You don't have to worry about if I ingest it or if I get it on my hands or anything else.
Right.
Or if your cats eat it or your pets lick it up.
Right.
They're nothing's going to happen to them. Yeah, they might get, I want to say sick, but just like I said, I can take a bottle of vinegar and drink it. Now, is it going to taste good? No. Is it going to upset my stomach? Probably. But I'm not going to die from it. I'm not going to worry that, oh, God, I need to call poison control. Do I got to go to the hospital? Do I induce vomiting? Do I not induce vomiting? What the fuck do I need to do? I don't have to worry about that because it's not something I got to worry about. Just like the chemicals outside. You've seen me. I don't use chemicals.
No.
I'm not a fan of chemicals. I am not. There is a natural way to do everything. We've just lost that over the last 40 to 50 fucking years.
I like the fact that you got mouse traps that are non-kill.
Yeah, that's right, folks. I got humane, non-kill mouse traps. I live out in the country, so I can capture a mouse, take him about 100 plus yards away from my house and let him go. If he makes it back to my house, congratulations. He's a smart little motherfucker.
Right. We'll just catch him again and put him back outside.
Exactly. But he's not going to. He's going to find some place around there to hide, a food source, stuff like that, and he's going to go on his merry way. And maybe he'll get picked up by a hawk. Maybe he'll get...
Maybe he'll end up in the church.
Yeah, well. Yeah, at that point, they probably don't use... Even the church probably doesn't use humane mouse traps.
Probably not.
Probably not.
They
And
probably use poison.
That's just a hypocritical church thing right there. I mean,
Right.
thou shalt not kill, except if it's insects and rodents and pests and people we don't like. And,
Right?
I mean, how can you agree to a 10 Commandments and then the one that says thou shalt not kill? It doesn't say thou shalt not just kill humans or thou shalt not kill somebody of your own race. It just says
most of them completely ignore that
thou shalt not kill. That is insects, that is any God's creatures, from what you gather in any of the other scripture you listen to, that everything's God's creatures.
How many incidents of infidelity do you hear? Because adultery is one of those commandments also.
But you want to know what everybody says, babe? Jesus died for our sin. So guess what? We might as well not let his death go in vain. We might as well sin, because if we don't sin, his death is in vain. Yeah,
Well, if you're going to break one, you might as well break them all.
Well, might as well. I mean, at that point, if you're breaking one, you don't give a shit about the rest.
True story.
So,
True story.
okay, speaking of, we're going to jump into the cancel culture. Oh, God, it's getting bad out there, folks. I mean, statues coming down, companies having to revamp and rethink just what they're going through, their product labels. Aunt Jemima, I got a bottle of syrup in my fridge that when we're done with the bottle of syrup, I'm washing it out and keeping it because it will become a historic piece in our history 20 to 30 years down the road, because Aunt Jemima, I guess, is racist. Not the fact that Aunt Jemima's the company, the women that portrayed Aunt Jemima were all legs up in the black community when this happened. Those were black women leaders in the day because they had the jobs. They were being used as spokesmodels for a product when black people weren't used as spokesmodels for a product.
No, they were typically cast as stereotypical roles.
Yes. Now, yes, if you go back into the mid 1800s, Aunt Jemima, the name or the stereotype or that was kind of a black degrading stereotype, supposedly. Again, none of us were around. We weren't there.
Right.
We're reading from what history or what documents, not just history, just what documents made it to this century.
And here's
that's
the
what
thing.
history
Here's the
is.
thing. Here's the thing. History was wrote by the people who won,
Always.
not by
The losers. It's hard
Right.
to find information on the losing side. Now you still do. There is some of that actual historians preserve both sides of an issue and stuff like
Right.
that, which is
But
good.
it doesn't happen often.
But you got to think, these women back in that time were the forefront of a product. What is that? Like, even their families and everything nowadays came out and said, what the fuck are you guys doing? We are a proud black family because of what these women did back in the early 1900s.
Right.
If the black family is proud of what those women accomplished back then, why
are
is
you
this
destroying it now?
supposedly racist and everything else? It's not. Our country and our world, folks, was built on racism and the backs of other cultures. Go back to the pyramids. Go back to Greece. Go back to Egypt. Back 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Every culture, every race, every country has had a systematic racism and degradation towards other people. Every one of them. There isn't one that hasn't. So what makes the U.S. now need to go back and destroy that? Do we need to start our whole history of humanity over again right now? Do we have to just start, okay, as of 2020, no history exists anymore, and we start from here? That just makes no fucking sense.
Here's the problem with forgetting history.
And
You're doomed to repeat it.
And there she gives me a topic for one of my shows I'll probably do here the next couple days, folks. Problem with forgetting history. I don't think I've done that one yet. I'll have to do some research on that, folks. Yeah, I have multiple things here on the channel. Check them out. I do gardening. I do the problem with that. We had two guys talking. Right now it's conversations with Switchblade and Kitty, which is fine. We might still have two guys talking. Brett might come back. I don't know. He's bailed on me the last two times, so we'll have to go from there. And we're going to have a new show coming up here, probably closer to winter time, when her studio is not as 100-degree-ish like it is now.
More like 1,000-degree-ish.
It is not 1,000 degrees.
Oh my God, it feels like it.
It's probably 103 in there. I should know. I used to live in this house for years with Bitcoin miners, and guess what? That one is not as hot as some of the first ones I've had.
It's still miserable in that room.
Yeah, but guess what? It supplements the heat in the wintertime.
I know. That's going to be awesome.
So that's the one thing I love. I mean, everybody is, oh, you Bitcoin mine, you're losing money. I'm like, no. Well, let's take a bunch of stuff. Oh, and I do one of those. Switchblade Dave's Crypto Hour. Again, I'll talk about this on there. But I supplement the heat in my house with crypto miners because they put off heat. So in the wintertime, I'm spending money to heat my house, which is also returning an investment because of Bitcoin to me. So why wouldn't you? Why would you run a 1,300 watt heater and then turn around, have to pay all that money? Or I can run a 1,300 watt Bitcoin miner and I get some of that money back, if not all of it.
Right.
Well, duh. It's just a no-brainer, folks. But
yes, but I'm very excited about crafting with Kitty.
Oh, I am too. I gotta figure that out. I'm honestly, folks, I'm a little leery because that's gonna be the first one I'm not part of. Now, yeah, I'm gonna be part of it. I'm gonna be recording it. I'm gonna be scripting it out, and we'll be editing it because of the way that it goes. Because crafts take a while. I can't do a live crafting show with Kitty because it would be hours just to make small little crafts.
Right.
So we gotta let her craft, record it all, and edit it down. So I will be part of it. I just won't be part of it. You won't hear my voice. You won't see me on there unless she needs hand or something like that. It's all going to be her. So, but talking with the cancel culture, Trader Joe's. Now, you don't really know Trader Joe's at all, do you?
No, I haven't. Been there.
Okay.
I've heard you talk about it.
Well, and Trader Joe's is more a southern thing. It's not up here. It's more Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. It's
See, and that's the thing. I haven't really been out of Michigan and Ohio much. And when I was, it was riding passenger in a semi-truck, and we really didn't stop anywhere other
Well,
than
of
where
course.
things were being delivered.
heck. You just got your
So-
passport last year
I know.
for the first time. You just
I
wrote.
know,
You
it
just
was
wrote.
so
You just
exciting.
wrote on a plane in February,
For the first time ever.
and you were out of the country into at least 2 different countries when we were on the cruise.
Right.
So there's a lot of firsts that I've given her so far in the last year.
I've given
It
you a
is.
lot of firsts, too, though.
It's been a good year, and you've pulled me out of depression. I'm pretty sure this house shows that over the last 5 to 6 months, I've really come out of what I was in.
Yes.
I'm doing this show now, folks. I'm back on track.
You smile a lot more.
I guess. I still don't like my teeth, but fuck it. Eventually, I get that fixed. But anyway, so we're talking about Trader Joe's, and this article is from CNN. Trader Joe's responding to demands to change its packaging, says the product labels aren't racist. Now, if you've never been to a Trader Joe's, I've been to a couple. I haven't been to a lot, folks, but I've been to a couple. They have products, and they use so they'll say, instead of Trader Joe's, they'll say, like, if it's German or like Mexican, Jose Joe's, or different cultures, they'll pick one of those names that are culturally inclusive
Right.
as their product name.
Right.
Well, that's racist, I guess. That's okay. They come back. Trader Joe's is shit. Trader Joe's. I wish there was some around here because I go frequent them, because their response to their criticism that their packages are. And by the way, they were criticized by a 17-year-old high school student, folks, because they know a lot of shit now, and they need to be dictating how this world works. So anyway, admits a re-exertion of American culture that has seen numerous racist and ethnic stereotypes dismantled. We just talked about Aunt Jemima. Like the infamous Aunt Jemima, Trader Joe's persists. More than 5,000 people. 5,000 people, folks. That's not a lot in this 33 million people country that we live in. Have signed a petition calling on the grocery store chain to change what they call its racist branding names, using phrases like Trader Jose, Trader Ming. Oh yeah, it was Trader Jose, Trader Ming's, and San Ho on some of its international food products. If you heard a name say Trader Ming's, Chinese.
Right.
Trader Jose's, Mexican.
Mexican.
And it has to go like that. But Trader Joe's is defending the practice. And it is. And I love this company for this, because they're standing up to this cancel culture.
Good. Somebody needs to.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the fact Trader Joe's is doing this. We want to be clear. We disagree that any of these labels are racist. We do not make decisions based on petitions, the grocery store said in a statement on July 24th.
Good.
They don't. Just because you're petitioning me doesn't mean we're going to change our shit. Fuck you. Petition all you want. It's not going to do anything. Kind of like, not riots, but marches. What are they doing? The BLM marches and
like the protests.
Protests don't do shit, folks. It's a waste of time. It doesn't solve or change anything, and you just get a bunch of people that look stupid. That's really what it does. It doesn't do anything like that. So
Protests haven't changed anything since the 60s.
And even then, they really didn't
They're
change
rare,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Protests do not change anything. Protests is a waste of time. If you think protests change shit, you're stupid. Go protest. That's where you belong. Decades ago, our buying team started using product names like Trader Guito's, Trader Jose's, Trader Ming's, etc. We thought then, and still do, that these names of products could be fun and show appreciation for other cultures. The statement is a far cry from the one made just last week by Kenya friend Daniel, a spokeswoman for Trader Joe's when the petition first was gained traction. At that time, friend Daniel insinuated the names were already in the process of being changed and process that would continue, which I highly doubt it now. While this approach to product naming may have been rooted in lighthearted attempt at inconclusiveness, we recognize that it may now have the opposite effect, and that is blah, 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 blah. Packaging for a number of the products has already been changed with these small numbers of products in which the packaging is still going through the process. So, I guess a couple weeks they had some wishy-washy information from the spokesperson to the actual company's decision. Guess what? Hey, you go tell the news sources this. We over here in the boardroom are going to discuss other shit.
Right.
It's pretty much what it sounds like happened. That doesn't seem to be the case now, and the move has particularly been praised by pundits on the right. Well, one, I'm not a pundit on the right, but I praise them. Don't put me right or left. Again, I think we previously in the show told you don't pick a side. It's a gray area in the middle. Guess what? I don't have a product with Trader Jose.
I am not somebody that sees everything in black and white. There are many, many shades of gray. Gray is one of my favorite colors. I don't see eye to eye with the right side. I don't see eye to eye with the left side. Some of their views I agree with. Some of their views I disagree with.
Well, I'm the same way. I agree with some on the right, some on the left. There's a gray area in the middle. And that's where we have to become. We can't just go all this way or all this way.
Right.
For us to be a good democratic society, it has to come into the middle. Unfortunately, nobody wants to play that middle ground no more. We see it in Congress. We see it in society. Nobody wants to have, it's either this side or that side, and that's it. So, pitch perfect response from Trader Joe's to one of the dumbest tweet mob non-controversy ever. Glad they won't be bending the knee to the mob over guacamole. And that's one of the products. Trader Joe's guacamole. If you hear guacamole, what do you automatically think? Mexican. Period. I don't care what you are. What type of products you have or anything like that. If you hear the word guacamole, you think Mexican. I wonder if Neely in Finley needs to not sell her Mexican restaurant because she's not Mexican. She doesn't need to sell it, folks. She runs that one good. The food's great. Go see there. I'm just saying, I mean, is cancel culture going to come down to? I just got an article that it goes back to the coronavirus. Well, it actually goes with cancel culture. The name changes on sports teams.
This has been irritating me something.
They're actually going after high school teams now.
No, really?
They are. It started, and I posted on an article I saw. I don't care what my high school's, or I put, I'm a Redskin through and through. I don't care what my high school changes their name to.
Right. Well,
I don't. I will be a Redskin through and through, folks. I graduated from a high school. Our mascot was the Redskins. I love it. I'm a big fan of Washington. My whole life, I've been a Redskin.
We always had boring ones. Like, my middle school was the Spartans. My high school was the Iron Men.
I think the Spartans are still safe for right now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Right now, I don't know. That Greek mythology, they might have to change it because I'm pretty sure Spartans were racist, Greek was racist. Somewhere in there had to be some racism going on.
Of course. And then high school, we were the Iron Men. So
That's nothing. I mean, that's never going to change it. That one's a safe one.
Right.
I was a Redskin. We didn't have middle schools in my high school. K through 12, there was 600 some students.
I was in 12 different schools before I even hit high school.
Well, I was in one for 13 years. And guess what? There was 23 of us that went for 13 years together through high school.
It probably was less than that, but it sure felt like that anyway. We moved around a lot when I was little. Never stayed anywhere too long.
Stuart Varney, a Fox News commentator, called the move by Trader Joe's a win for sanity.
Good.
Yes. The problem, according to the petition and those on its side, is that the kinds of packaging exonerates other cultures, presenting Joe as the norm and Ming, Sanho, and Jose and so on as falling outside the realm. No, they're including that in the whole store.
Right.
So we got Trader Joe. Hey, Jose has his section. They all have their section. They all have their products. They all have. That's inclusive. That is what a melting pot of a country is about. Unfortunately, I think we're going to get away from the melting pot of a country that we should be and are.
I agree, and it's sad. I mean, the division of everything is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
In its most recent statement, Trader Joe's asserts that customer feedback revealed its clientele is unbothered by this fun approach to the product marketing. Recently, we have heard from many customers reaffirming that these names variations and are largely viewed in exactly the way they were intended, as an attempt to have fun with our product marketing, the statement said. We continue our ongoing evaluation, and these products that resonate with our customers and sell well will remain on our shelves.
Good for them.
I need a
Good
clapping
for them.
sound. I don't have that yet, but good job, Trader Joe's. We will be agreeing with that and taking care of that. But yes, this is the cancel culture, folks. I mean, they offend. I hope I become part of that cancel culture. I hope I have people start fighting against what I say on these shows and everything else. That's my goal, because I'm fighting against this. I want this shit to stop. What people say, I don't give a shit if it offends you. Honestly, I don't, because offense is objective, and what offends you does not offend me, and you cannot cancel and stop something like that. Just because you're offended, well, guess what? Congratulations, you're offended. That means nothing to anybody else. I guess you need to pull your fucking little dildo out of your ass and hope that nobody else gets butt hurt. You like the way that
I'm laughing at.
Yeah, I'm laughing. You're laughing at your son off camera because
Yes,
he's
I
trying to make you
am.
laugh. Jesus, Charlie, you're screwing. Goddamn intern, you need to stay on the couch unless you're called. God damn it, Rodriguez decides to come into the picture and everything else. I wish I could make him do something right now, but I don't need nothing.
I
So.
can. Hey, I need a can of pop, please.
Yeah, and don't put that on camera. She's got to put it in her koozie before it goes on camera, because we're not promoting that company on this show
Not at this point.
until they
in time.
bring
favorite.
back Cherry Coke. That company is not allowed. I don't even want donations from that company. We can take Pepsi, Black Velvet, Sky Vodka. There's a lot of other things you can send us, but you did not send us that company's products, because we won't drink it or show it on camera.
I'll drink it. I just won't show it on camera.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, shit, there's not a lot of options when you're looking at pop beverages. You got to go with what's on sale today, which even that is getting up there. So,
Oh my lord, it's ridiculous.
oh God, well, baby, we're going on almost hour and a half so far.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we're doing good.
We haven't even gotten to the subject that I really wanted to talk about.
This is the last subject for the night, folks, and we're heading into that. I mean, we've seen the cancel culture. We've talked about KKK. We've talked about Corona. We've talked about pets being shot. you can see where this show's gonna go. Now we might dwindle it down, maybe not go a full hour and a half, but for an hour and a half, perfect pilot show. Let you know what we're about.
You never know. It could go an hour and a half every time. It just
Who
depends on what we
knows?
have to talk about.
I mean, and we're gonna try to do this every week. Do you want to do it Monday nights?
yes, I would
Okay.
prefer to do it.
We're gonna do this one Monday nights. We're gonna do it every Monday night. So obviously here we got a week. Come back and join us on Monday nights. We might not wait till 12:30 in the morning. We might back that up where we're actually doing it more like 10:30,
Yeah.
11:30, 11 o'clock. If somebody would have had dinner ready tonight, we would have been on a little earlier tonight.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was playing my video game. Leave me alone. I don't do it that often.
Yeah, that's right. My 40-year-old girlfriend was playing a video game and lost track of time.
It happens not that often.
You're right. It does. Was I mad?
No.
Okay, and
You
we're
laughed
still,
at me.
Yeah, I did. I walked into the kitchen thinking, "Oh, you and Charlie ate already," and where the fuck's the food? There's no food. I was expecting to eat when I got home. What the fuck? And I walk back in and go, "What's going on?" Half my brownies are gone. I had one, by the way, when I left this morning, folks.
I only had 2.
And her son ate 3. The rest are mine. I've already claimed them. They're
I
mine.
might eat one. You gotta give me one.
I gotta give you shit.
You love me, right?
Still doesn't mean I gotta give you one. Well, we'll figure that one out after the show's over here.
Okay.
But we're gonna go into the last topic of tonight is work ethic. Now this is one that Kitty wanted to bring up tonight. I can back her on this one because I've seen it through my profession. I've seen it through all the jobs that I've had. And work ethic, I mean, what do you call me?
A workaholic.
I don't think I am, folks. I might be. Hell, I don't know. And if I am, shit, congratulations to me because not only do I work to pay bills and support my family, I do this shit. So maybe I am a workaholic. I don't know.
You are.
Is this considered work?
No, this is fun.
Exactly. And I've always been told you never work a day in your life if you're doing things you love.
I agree, which is why I...
So am I a workaholic then?
Yes.
Why? Because
Because you constantly have to be busy doing something.
Well, that's just my brain. But that's not a workaholic because if I'm doing it, I enjoy it. Therefore, it's not work.
Well, unless you're at work.
Which work? Because the golf course isn't work. I enjoy.
No, I was talking about the store.
Oh well, yeah. I enjoy doing that though a little bit. I do. There's times I enjoy what I do at that job. I honestly do.
Well, I enjoy what I do at my job.
So is it work?
It is still work. It is still work.
I don't know. I don't think mine is work. Honestly I don't.
I like what I'm doing at the moment, but do I see it as my career 10 years down the road? No, I do not.
Right now I'm on the line. I've been at mine for 5. So the benefits are great. What I get on the backside is great. What I get per hour has nothing to do with what I get because what I bring home is quite a bit, and I'm putting away for retirement. I'm putting away in stocks. I mean, that's all some. And I think I was talking to you about this too. To watch that, and I think you saw part of my concern,
Right?
Because of your insurance now,
Right.
which is something that I was concerned about because.
But with the kind of financial gain that I got, I can always get supplemental insurance.
Well, yeah, and again, you got to figure that all out. Most people don't figure that all out. Most people don't even think about any of that.
Oh no,
They're
I'm
like,
gonna.
I'm
definitely thinking about it because medical cost is ridiculous.
Well, and that's what I said. Most people think, oh, I get an extra $1 an hour. It's better over here. Are you really getting an extra $1 an hour, or are you paying something that you're not paying attention to?
I couldn't pass up $3.25 more an hour.
And only working 36 hours a week and getting paid for 40.
And a step up from where I was at.
I know.
Position-wise.
I realize that. And I understand that. And I'm so far, you love your job, and I'm happy with the decision. So we're good. But most people don't think about that. Most
Right.
people think, oh, I'm getting extra. I'm only making this much here, but I could be making $1 more over here. Well, are you really making $1 more, or are you getting $1 more but getting $1.50 less in benefits and health and all this other stuff combined? And people don't look at it that way.
But I wasn't making ends meet at
No.
$12.50 an hour. Of course.
Which is true. I mean, and we'll see how this plays out. We're good. I support this family. My job can support a family of 3 if the 18-year-old doesn't eat me out of house and home. Jesus. Sorry, folks. I've never had a kid, so I didn't get to grow my food budget as we go throughout the years. I got slapped with an 18-year-old living with us, and then all of a sudden him eating as much as the other 2 people in the house, if not more.
You could have said no.
For what?
Him coming down.
Why would I? Okay. Anyway, I'm not an asshole, folks. I am an asshole, but I'm not that type of asshole. Do we not have food? Do we not
Yes,
eat? Do we not?
We do.
I mean,
we do.
we're good. I still got money. I'm still good. I had to adjust the budget. I had to adjust the income and where it goes and how it goes and everything else. So I'm
And
still.
he's going home in a few weeks, so.
I'm still drinking my liquor. Haven't cut that out of the budget yet. So trust me, we're perfectly fine on there. But worth ethic. Now, and I'm going to bring up her son here. And I'm sorry because I'm going to offend him right now. Has no worth ethic because he's never had a job. So, which is fine. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I understand this. But, so...
At 28, though, you should have some sort of work ethic.
Ding, 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 ding.
A 40-year-old woman should not be able to work circles around a 28-year-old man.
And this is where it comes into play, folks. There are 18, 19, 20-year-olds out there that have worth ethic.
Oh, yes. I've seen quite a few of them.
There also are 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds that are lazy pieces of shit and have no worth ethic. They clock in late every day. They go home early every day. They do the bare minimum to not get fired just so they get that money every single day. That is a horrible worth ethic. Horrible. And should not be tolerated. Unfortunately, with the labor laws in the United States, have to be tolerated. I have
To a certain extent, they can be tolerated.
part of my training. So I hire a person in. They work for a month. They just stopped showing up for work. I cannot fire them for 3 days.
After 2 no call, no shows, you're done.
No, mine's 3. Mine has to be 3. Mine has to be 3 no call, no shows before.
If it was me personally, it would be 1.
If it was me personally, yeah, you're right. 1. You don't call and no show 1 day, you're done. Have a nice fucking day. You lost your job.
Exactly.
If you are not, don't have that worth ethic, again, back to the worth ethic, to call your boss, even if it's 2 minutes before your shift or an hour after you were supposed to be there. Like, I can call 2 hours after I was supposed to be there, and it does not go down as a no call, no show.
Really?
Well, I still get pinged for calling in and not showing up.
Right.
And probably about after 20 minutes of me not being there, I'm going to be starting to get phone calls over my phone like, what the fuck's going on? But I can call in 2 hours after and still go down as not as a no call, no show.
Right.
Just as a call off. But yes. She's jotting down some shit over there, folks. I don't know what's going on.
You just reminded me of something to call my boss about. Sorry.
Ah. So we just a part of this show just helped her in her business and job. But that's what it is, folks. work ethic is something that we have lost in this country, and we'll bring this up before. I just remembered a topic I wanted to talk about tonight, and it had to do with a Teen Vogue article about people should have a right to a house and a right to this and a right to that. Well, no, they don't, because people think that they need to get shit for free.
No.
Yeah, no is right.
That's not how things work.
But that's how it does in a socialist country. Now, the Teen Vogue article, and we'll bring this up on our next. We'll use the Teen Vogue. I'll research it some more. I'll make sure I have all my documents on it. Next time we do a show next Monday, the Teen Vogue article was pushing the socialist of what you get, what you get, what you get. It doesn't bring in the fact that government controls it all.
Right.
Because they were talking about nobody should own land, nobody should do this, nobody... Yeah, well, because the land...
I'm sorry, but if I owned land and you stripped it from me, I would be irate.
But the thing is, they were trying to play it off as in the land's everybody's. Well, no, if we're going to do a socialist like what you want, the land's the government's.
Right. It doesn't belong to...
Nobody owns anything.
Right.
The government owns it, and now the government controls it and tells you what to do, how to do, and everything else. Just like
if you want to be realistic, though, we don't actually own our property. The government does, because we have to pay taxes every year.
Ding, ding, ding. Unless you make your own property a country and have fun with that one.
You don't actually own your own damn car. Did you know that you can be ticketed for damaging your car in an accident?
But I still own my car. I own my vehicles. My vehicles are one thing nobody can take away from me. They are. They're mine. 100% mine. Nobody can take my cars away from me.
No, we don't pay taxes on our cars yet.
But I said nobody can take my car away from me.
We have to pay taxes on those plates.
Now, if you have a lien against your car, somebody owns your car. You do not. If you're paying monthly on a car payment, you do not own your car. The bank owns your car.
Unless you're in a situation.
Technically, she still owns your car. It's not in her name. It's a gray area and has to go to court.
But technically, yes.
But I'm saying, if you don't, you have a contract with her.
Yes.
So you have a binding document with her. So technically, she owns your car.
Technically.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you are making payments on your car, you do not own your car. Me, on the other hand, own 3 cars, all of which are mine, in my name. I have the titles and everything in my possession right now. They are mine. I own my cars. So, again, work ethic, and we'll talk more about title and ownership and stuff like that. But it comes back to some of these kids never learned. Their parents are pieces of shit.
Right.
Their parents are the ones that enabled them to think that they got this, and this. Now, mind you, folks, and I'm going to throw this out here, I'm an only child. Most people look at me and go, oh, you got everything handed to you. The fuck I did. My girlfriend knows my parents. Did I get shit handed to me?
Hell no.
No. My parents looked at me at the age of 16 when I got my driver's license, got my first car and everything. My first car was a 13-year-old Ford F-150 that my dad bought brand new 13 years prior when I was 3 fucking years old to drive us around as a family car. Now, yes, my dad took care of it for 13 years. Took care of it, kept it actually had it painted once within that 13 years, got rid of the rust, kept the motor running, kept everything running. It was a good first vehicle. But did I get a new vehicle? No. My dad went, here, this is your vehicle, went out and bought himself a new vehicle, and turned around, and my parents looked at me and goes, if you want that car to go anywhere, or if you want to go do anything with your friends, you got to go get a job to put gas into it. Well, shit.
Now, my parent my dad, I should say, bought my first 2 cars. Granted, my very first car, which was a 1964 Buick Wildcat.
I still wish we could find that.
Me too.
Do you know where it's at?
Not anymore.
Thought you still had it in your possession, but I guess you don't. See, this is what happens when you don't have the title to the items.
I did have the title.
Where's it
I
at?
told you what happened with the car. I sold the car to get my truck fixed so I had a vehicle that I could drive.
Okay.
We'll talk more about that off camera. Okay.
Anyway. Continue with your story, baby.
It was only a $400. I only paid $400 for the car. And this car, 1964, mind you, only had 74,000 miles on it. It was a grandma's car. My second car, or my everyday driver car that I got when I was 16, because I got my Buick when I was 15. I got my everyday driver when I was 16. Was a 1984 Chevy Chevette that I hated. But it was the only car I've owned that lasted me longer than 6 months. Not counting this one, because this one will last me quite a while.
So far, I think I have this one up and running, and hell, it's been to the UP, what, twice now? Damn near close.
Yeah. Well, no, it's only been to the UP once.
But you've come close a couple times up to Flint and everything else.
Well,
so.
Flint's nowhere close to. Flint's only 2 hours away. 2 hours.
So
compared to 7.5 to take him home.
Anyway, this vehicle is a Honda, and it's running tits because, oh, wait, I'm a Honda guy. I got 2 of them. I got a really rare one, and I have one of the good SIs. So
I like my car. I have no complaints.
Well, you did at the beginning.
Because I really didn't get to choose my car.
You're right. The mechanic and the people paying for it got to choose your car.
No, you chose my car. Your mom really didn't choose my car.
No, I chose it. But I'm the one working on it. Did I not? Do I not have it running good for you?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so.
But there are a couple things that you need to look at on it.
There's always going to be a couple things. The wheel hub needs change. I understand that. It's making some sounds. I understand that. Drive the fucking Honda.
I am. And I'm not complaining about it.
Oh, no. We're going to take it up to the UP again here in the next couple weeks.
I thought we were going to take your mom and dad's car.
That one's not registered yet. If it's registered here in the next couple weeks, yes. Right now, we're taking yours again.
Okay.
I mean, that's the plan.
That's fine with me.
We don't need to be.
I did a wonderful job going up there.
We don't. I know, and I'll be with you, and I'll make sure. Like, I'll do a check on it before we leave that Monday. But again, this doesn't need to go on air right now. I mean, it's good banner, folks. Trust me. Nobody's. I don't know. Is anybody watching? Hold on. Let me go see.
I doubt anybody's watching us.
Has anybody watching? Has anybody commented? Has anybody done anything in the last hour and 40 minutes?
Oh, my Lord. We're going on 2 hours?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. It does not feel like it's been 2 hours.
Whoop, hold up. Let's. Oh, it is muted already. Good.
What?
The live stream.
Oh.
We got 1 viewer, and it's exactly the viewer I thought it was going to be.
You?
No, it's just another TV viewer. That's I don't know. That one shows up on all my live streams for some reason.
Okay,
I don't know. Works for me. Fuck it. There was one ATEN. ATEN. I don't know who the fuck that is either. But no comments, but maybe I didn't see the comments. I don't know. I don't have it pulled up. I can't do live stream and have videos come through this clear, record this good if I'm on the internet with all the ad bullshit.
I know this.
So, yeah, you do, but our viewers don't.
Well, true story.
Okay, so. But anyway, so work ethic. Lazy, rich. I mean, you wanted to go on about this, so we'll go back to this real quick, and then we'll wrap it up here within the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, well, this is something that I dealt with this past weekend at work. 28-year-old man hasn't had a job in 7 years.
Why the fuck has a 21 or 28-year-old man not have a job between the ages of 21 and 28?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know? You didn't find out? Okay.
I'm not nosy.
I would have been. I'd be like, what the fuck, motherfucker?
I I will ask his friend who still works with me because she's a good worker.
But why? I mean, does he just milk the system? Maybe he does.
I guess he was on disability for a while. I don't know.
Trust me,
I guess he's bipolar and schizophrenic, which whatever. I was too.
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay. You'll learn. I'll teach you. You can't. The camera right there. Brett has the same.
It needs to be higher.
Brett has the same issue.
I got to be doing something with my hands.
Well, that's fine. Keep them below the board. You're good.
Whoops.
That was not a shot or anything. It's kind of like dropping shit with Rodriguez the other day. But we did our other show last week. It was two guys talking.
Yeah.
And you guys filled in, and we decided just to do this rather than the two guys talking. If me and Brett.
I thought it would be nice for us to do a weekly show anyway.
Oh, it will be on Monday nights. Because
when we actually sit down and conversate, we have some good conversations.
Obviously, we just went for almost 2 hours right now.
I know, it doesn't feel like 2 hours.
It doesn't, and we talked some content. Obviously, some of these topics we'll talk again, but again, let's go back to your work ethic.
He was, oh my lord, he moved at a snail's pace, and this kid, I'm not kidding you, was over 6 foot tall.
Okay.
Had some long legs. Okay. I'm 5'4".
Yes, you are.
I could walk circles around this kid as he walked from one section to another.
Normally, anybody over 6 foot has a long stride.
Right, and I'm basically running to keep up, usually. But he kept dragging his feet and all this kind of stuff, and I kept saying, pick up your feet. You have to pick up your pace. You can't be slow. I work in a busy warehouse.
Yeah.
And another thing, who chooses a 12-hour heavy labor position after not having a job for 7 years? Granted, folks, I went 10 years without a job, but I took care of my parents. And I had some pretty severe issues that kept me out of the workplace.
And you have that.
I still have issues, but I have learned better ways to deal with it.
Yep.
I did not start off working a 12-hour-a-day job. I started off with a 6-hour-a-day job.
Or an 8 that works 3 or 4 days, like part-time.
Yeah, it was basically part-time. It was considered a full-time position, but I was a maid at a hotel.
But you worked, what, 32 hours?
Yeah, if that.
Under, yeah.
If that.
But you hit anywhere 28, 30 hours.
And it was a good year. It was a good year before I got a full-time job.
Yeah, but you got back into the labor force. You put your feet in before you jumped in.
Right. But see, I could get away with having a part-time job because I was dating a guy and he was helping me out. I didn't have any bills. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything. I have not paid a phone bill in...
We don't need to talk
4
about
years.
that.
So I didn't have any bills. None. So a part-time job was perfect.
Yeah. I don't want you to work part-time because I
don't want to work
I like
part-time.
money and I want vacations.
I like being able to have money to play with. And if I'm working a full-time job and you're working a full-time job and we're both making a decent paycheck, we have money to play with.
Exactly. We can go on vacations. We can go have some fun on our days off.
The guy I was dating decided to walk away from a $21 an hour job, hence the reason I was able to have a part-time job.
But why would you walk away? Oh, wait, back to work ethic. Obviously, people are stupid.
This was more of he thought everybody was yelling at him, even for the slightest bit of criticizing him. Even if you were to tell him, hey, you're doing this wrong, could you do it this way? You screamed at him.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's just the way he was.
What's the funny is... Go ahead.
So he was never really happy at work and all this, that, and the other. He blames it on getting sick. I blame it on him experimenting with
Drugs?
drugs. Yes.
Yeah. Drugs will do that to you. They'll
Yes,
screw up a
very
good
true.
life and everything else.
Very, very true. This I know. I know. 15 years clean, folks.
Yeah, well, I love my baby for that. Now, mind you, folks, I didn't meet her back then. I met her now, and I've already told her I won't let her go back into
No.
that. And if she does and doesn't listen to me, unfortunately, yes, call me what you will. I'm a bad motherfucking person for doing this. No, I'm a good person for doing this. I told her I will kick her out. I will throw her to the curb, and she does not get to have me as a boyfriend anymore because
And I can't blame him, folks. I really can't blame him. I don't want to be that person again.
I'm not going to let her be that person again. That's why there are some prescription drugs in this house right now. I have control over them, folks, not
Yep.
her. Because now I let her use them because they're prescription drugs. They do help in moderation, but if she starts taking them too often, we'll throw her back into her spiral.
Right.
Back
And I
into
don't
that
wanna-
whole
yeah,
addiction.
I don't want to be that person.
Unfortunately, folks, I have them under lock and key. I have them hidden. And if you think,
And I appreciate him for this, by the way.
and if you think, oh, she can go looking for them, she could. She ain't gonna find them. Come on now, folks. I'm not
go
stupid.
looking for him anyway.
Well, yeah, and she has it. Trust me, I know what I got. I know what's there. I know. Keep track of the last time I gave her half a pill to help with pain. I don't let her do that because I know.
And
now,
the whole half a pill thing, folks, was my idea.
yeah, which is
instead
fine.
of taking a whole one.
Hey, I've given you a whole one time.
Yes, you did. And I said I'll just take half, and you're like, no, take the whole thing.
I knew what she was in. I did it. I'm not a pill person, folks. I had a bottle of what were those? Hydrocodone that I got from a mouth surgery that I had. 13 pills. Hydrocodone. How long do you think that would have taken you to go through that bottle?
God, not even a day.
Now, if you're just using them or just spreading them out, what? Couple weeks maybe? If that 13 pills, what?
13 pills.
13
they
days.
usually prescribe 3 pills a day.
No, this
Or
one.
like every 6 to 8 hours is usually what it is.
Mine was
As
every
needed.
2 a day for I think a week.
Oh, okay.
It was mouth surgery just for pain. That's all.
So
it
yeah,
was.
about 6 days or so.
Yeah. Okay. It took me 9 years to go through 13 pills, folks. I mean, and I used them for pain. I didn't use them for anything else. Now, a couple years down the road, I used them for back pain and other pain that I had to help me sleep because I couldn't sleep because I had lower back pain, stuff like that. But 13 pills took me 8 years to go through. That's somebody that doesn't like pills and doesn't use pills to get high or anything else. That's somebody that uses pills responsibly. Even when they're 6 years past expiration date. And guess what, folks? Your medicine still works 6 years after expiration date.
You were never real big on downers other than alcohol.
I'm not a fan of downers. I like uppers. No, what do I take? Uppers? Do I take uppers? I
Yeah,
don't really.
they are uppers.
I don't know. I drink alcohol, cigarettes, and
No,
Caffeine.
Alcohol's a downer.
cigarettes and caffeine's an upper.
Caffeine's an upper, yes. Nicotine,
This is a suppressant.
yeah.
Pretty much that the only thing nicotine does to you actually gives you a buzz and suppresses your appetite.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but again, folks, I'm not. I've done my fair share of drugs, folks. I'm not gonna sit here online and tell you this, that, and everything else of what I've done because, frankly, none of your fucking business.
Exactly.
Make your own perception of me as you will. You're gonna see me sit here and drink on camera because guess what? It's legal, folks. Nobody can say nothing. This is legal. Though I really don't like the legal, illegal bullshit of this, because there's stuff that's illegal that should be legal. There's stuff that's legal that should be illegal. So just because somebody sat down and said, I don't like this, we need to ban it, well, fuck you.
All right, my love, I do believe that we should bring this to a close for tonight.
She's getting tired, folks, but after an hour and 45 minutes,
Hey, that's a good first show.
well, we're at, hour 49.
That's a good
Hour
first
and
show.
49. Good pilot show. Just remember, folks, obviously, I doubt any of you are going to even come close to watching the end of this. Most of you will watch the beginning and drop off, which is great. Watch the beginning. That was the good part. This is where I start getting sloppy for sitting here and drinking for the last 2 hours.
Yep.
And she starts getting tired at 2:30 in the fucking morning.
Which is way later than I'm usually up, by the way.
Way
'cause
later.
I'm a day shifter.
Way later. Normally I get home, she goes to bed, and I stay up for a couple hours.
Yep.
So, but we are going to bid you adieu. I appreciate everybody watching, or who does watch, or however anybody watches.